Hi Cindy, great post for this week. I think you definitely made some interesting points. And one point that you made that I really wanted to talk about was the point that you made about Jordan having a moderate front with the Arab world as well as peace with Israel. And I think this point is so important because current issues today and reasons why Arab countries are so unstable is truly, in my opinion, because of the relationships with the Arab world and the ongoing, these relationships have caused instability because of the ongoing wars between countries and the ongoing intervention that countries are taking place on another country. And I think that's definitely caused a lot of instability in Arab countries and throughout the whole Arab region. And just some examples of this that I wanted to make was take Syria, for example. The first Arab-Israeli War from 1948 to 1949 also involved Lebanon fighting against Israel. Um, the Gulf War from 1990 to 1991, Syria aided and fought against Iraq. The Syrian Civil War that's currently taking place, which is an uprising against Assad. And then so moving from, these are just only a few wars that Syria has been involved in. There's many more. I just took some of the recent and ones that really stuck out to me. Then Lebanon. I already mentioned the Arab-Israeli War that Lebanon was a part of. The 1958 Lebanon crisis, which was caused by political and religious tensions within the country, and the United States had to end up intervening in that. We learned about in the book the Lebanese Civil War that lasted for 15 years, and this civil war caused hundreds of thousands of deaths and definitely caused a lot of instability within the country, financially, destruction. And then just to look at Jordan and what Jordan has been involved in, they have been in fight. There has been fighting in Jordan, and the country of Jordan has been involved in fighting in other wars, but Jordan as a whole has really stood back in the Arab world. One, I think they've stood back because it is a fairly new country. Only being founded by Winston Churchill in 1921, so it is a fairly new country, and they haven't had as much time to be involved in other conflicts like countries like Syria and Lebanon have. But I think it's important that we read in the book that they've really taken a step back and have not become involved as much because they realize becoming involved could cause destruction and it could cause instability within the country, and ultimately the book mentioned could it lead to the country completely ending. So just to talk about the Black September that Jordan was involved in against Syria, Syria or Lebanon, or sorry, back to Jordan. So many countries going on. Jordan involved in the Black September against Syria. They became involved in the Libyan civil war in 2011 when all the countries decided to intervene in Libya. So we've seen Syria becoming heavily involved in the Arab world and Lebanon becoming heavily involved in the Arab world, and just becoming so heavily involved within all these wars in these other countries and all the foreign policy that's been going on within those countries. It's just as if all that has caused so much instability within the country. And I think Jordan has really been able to remain stable and has pretty much remained a pretty good relationship with the Arab world because of becoming less involved and having less fighting going on within their country and abroad. So, however, we know wars never make a. We also know wars never make a country stable, and by continuing to be involved in wars, especially against your neighbors and in the Arab world, can become financially exhausting within a country, and stability is difficult to come by when a country is financially drained, lives are being lost, the government doesn't know where to go next because they're involved in have been involved in so many wars and all this. So I think you definitely made an interesting point, and we're on the right track with the moderate front that Jordan has with the Arab world, and how this has created stability within the country and the stability being able to remain. So thanks for your post for this week, and I look forward to hearing more.